Hello, everyone. Hi. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where everyone is. I'm so happy to be co-hosting tonight's spaces. And there's me, who's Dr. Adaku Agwunobi. I'm the president of the Oxford University Blockchain Society, founder of Vibes with Dr. Adaku, and Literally Needs, which is a spin-out coming out of Oxford University.
I'm Jake, or Jake on Block. I'm the founder of Magnet. We're a growth company in crypto. There's two sides to us. The Magnet Laboratory, which is where we invent new frameworks and models to try and pioneer the future of how we grow this industry and projects in this industry. And then we have the studio, which is where we conduct work for projects implementing these different frameworks and models that we invent to help them grow. We have a big focus on tokens and communities and how these different elements are the biggest growth levers that we have in crypto. One of the frameworks we invented was the Magnet method. I wrote a book on it, which became a bestseller on Amazon in January. Anything to do with growth, whether it's growing projects or trying to grow this industry, that's me.
This is Anna. I'm based in Dubai. I was the host of the last event in Dubai Society event. Right now, I'm a founder of Rex Lab. We are a next generation Web3 incubation powerhouse. We build, transform the early stage ideas from scratch into a sustainable ecosystem. And we have been incubating this thing for 1 year. And we specialize in shaping strong foundations, engineering growth framework, and guide this kind of project to a visionary turn from concept to impact. So that's what we are doing right now. If there's any startup need us help with incubate, with community growth, with connections, we are here.
I'm Tommy and I live in Singapore. I'm from GigDAO, so we are airdrop farming communities, and it's quite interesting ideas to bring to Dubai because I know there's many developers in like Russian-speaking countries of Europe, also Middle East, but not many users. But Asia has many users, especially in South Asia, China, India, Bangladesh. So I think it's very good opportunities to bring the user to the West and bring the capital and project to the East.
Hello everyone, my name is Oleksandra. I'm leading events at Daos Hub. We're actually a members-only collaboration space for the Web3 founders, startups, and builders. Probably guests that came to our space thought that we are more of like a co-working space or the events venue, but we are actually a full ecosystem that was purposely built for early stage startups. So we are offering everything from the workspace and community to the capital accesses to the strategic partnerships. And of course, we just opened our doors to our residents. So we're very fresh, we are very new, we are very excited to welcome our residents. We offer all-in-one support across the legal, finance, marketing, scaling. We're very heavy on the connecting our core members with the network of curated investors, the blockchain, the infrastructure partners, and the service providers. As you guys could see, we're really focusing on the events. We are regularly hosting and co-hosting events. So if you're looking to join the community or you're looking for the event, I will be more than happy to chat.
My real name is Shu, so Web3 handle is cryptobuddha. I'm a core member of a community called OffChain. So we're a decentralized and volunteer-based Web3 community that runs offline meetups in about 70 cities around the world. So I'm based in Asia, I'm in Taiwan and Hong Kong for the most part. So I kind of help oversee a lot of our events locally in this region, and also partnerships because we collaborate with a lot of events and organizers. For example, TOKEN2049, we've been a community partner for them for a while. We are all about having us Web3ers meet offline to bring stronger bonding. And we were lucky enough to co-host the event back in Dubai, and look forward to the discussion tonight.
I'm Felix from Tapbit. Thank you guys for joining the Tapbit hosted event. So I'm Felix. I'm a business developer at Tapbit. Tapbit is a crypto exchange, a centralized crypto exchange. So not only we enable people across the crypto ecosystem speculate, but it's not only this. We also have fiat gateway to onboard more people onto the crypto world. Also, we have a set of tools for influencers, for affiliate KOLs to unleash their potential and build their community and leverage their influence. And that was the focus of my presentation at the event. Tapbit is a big contender for some major crypto exchanges, and we have huge ambitions, and we're looking to challenge this whole ecosystem.
If you had to describe your experience at Token2049 using only emojis, what would these emojis be and why? So anyone can start.
Maybe the running emoji, because there's just so much going on all the time and you're just on the go continuously. If you manage to stick to a good sleep schedule and schedule at Token2049, then you haven't done it right, in my opinion. If you have too much time on your hands with the amount that goes on within these weeks, then you're definitely doing it wrong. So yeah, running emoji.
That would be the waving hand emoji, you know, like greetings, because I spend my time greeting people that have been working with for a long time, but I met for the first time during the event. I mean, nothing replaces I actually get to meet people. That's how the relationships are strengthened and how the connections are built.
Probably for me, I would say coffee, as I'm literally running on coffee, because like during the token week, we hosted 17 events. So it was literally 3 events per day. And then we had close to like 3,000 people that came through. We had over like 80 speakers. So yeah, I think the only way to like survive was to have coffee on.
For me, it'd be the sleepy emoji since the desert DG event. It was like 2-3 a.m., 4 a.m., and also the after party. And the next day morning, the event like start up that's from 10 a.m. So it's only 6-5 hours sleep, but the next day you need to be fully energy to go at working. I think for me, it's sleepy all the time.
Question that everyone can answer. What would you say, especially from our 1783 DAO event last week, what would you say was like just like an interesting key takeaway that maybe got you thinking? That just could have been one sentence, could have been just experience, could have been anything.
For me, I'm like really thrilled to be part of this incredible event, and thank you everyone in between. And I feel like the energy and the connection we built during the whole procedure, it was pretty good. For our project, we are startups. We had a lot of great talk during the event, and we met a lot of amazing people, and we definitely gonna further extend the connection after the event.
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway was actually chatting with Jake. I don't mean to toot your horn, Jake, but gave me a lot of insights on my projects and what we're working on right now. Thanks for your book, by the way. And it's a very detailed breakdown for anyone working on anything startup, or what doesn't matter if it's Web3 or not, to have a sort of clear plan as to how to execute your project, how to market it properly, how to grow.
Anyone like who's listened to this spaces, the book that we're talking about now, The Magnet Method, a playbook on how to grow crypto projects. And in terms of like answering the question, I think my biggest realization throughout the whole week was that there are elements of this industry that are fundamentally broken and not sustainable. And I feel like there's a big shift coming up, probably at the end of this year. I do think that we'll have one more pump because there's a lot of catalysts for that to happen, such as if we get improved economic macro environments based on things like the tariffs being settled, also the amount of institutional inflow that we're seeing into the market, and other things as well. I mean, FTX redistributing 16 billion to creditors. I think there's a big shift coming in this industry after this market's over. Change for the good, of course.
Yeah, just wanted to react to what Jake said. First, I could definitely see a trend, not a trend, but a difference between last year's Token2049 and this year Token2049. I actually enjoyed this edition more. I think there was less vaporware projects. So actually, what I mean here is that most of the people I talked to during the event were actually, I think, they're creating more value overall than those, like on average, compared to the people I talked to during the previous edition. So I'm quite optimistic, although I cannot share the diagnosis.
And how would you say we can make it quote unquote prettier? Like, I guess we've spoken a bit about bots and even mission and just in terms of like motivations of some people in the space. Like how do you think that we can actually go towards shifting things a bit so it is essentially different to what we probably assume is going to be?
In my opinion, the biggest thing is that like a lot of the way that the market has been built, again, in my opinion. So I think to make it prettier, it kind of needs to be a lot of awareness and messaging around why this is important, like why this needs to happen, why we need to kind of reinvent the market and maybe take a few steps back in the meantime and get X, Y, and Z more clarified so that we can sustainably grow this industry moving forward. And although we might bleed a little bit now, later on, this is going to enable real projects and real builders and people that are trying to really do cool stuff in this space to prosper and thrive. I think it's all about kind of fixating people on, even when times are tough, this is what it's going to look like on the other side of the market. So
no, when people think about why they got into the space in the first place and why they've stayed in the space, for me personally, I've also taken sort of what I see as the positives from it and tried to teach others how they can get involved and sort of change their lives, especially when you think about different economies. Like I do a lot of events and work in Nigeria, like blockchain events, and even down to the exchange rate, for example, exchange rate from pounds to naira or dollars to naira is so strong. So you can imagine people earning in stable coins or being able to essentially regulate their earnings using stable coins. There's sort of aspects in it that when we spread the words to certain communities and economies and ecosystems, it could actually be so impactful. The next question I was going to ask was sort of similar to the first question, but exploring with regards to your general experience in Dubai. How long were you there for those that don't live in Dubai? And did you have any sort of fun or unexpected and memorable moments that you'd like to share? This could literally be anything. It could be a panel, random encounter, or even a party.
Hi, okay, I would like to start first. Before Dubai was in the Paris Blockchain Week, so I feel like the atmosphere during the Europe and the Dubai one is different. And me and my team in Dubai, we stayed for, me mostly based in Dubai, but my team, they are stayed for 1 week. And it was like a non-stoppable event, and every day between all the panels and all the side events and the random meetup and after party, feel we live 10 days in 5. And also we met some incredible founders and folks building in same infrastructure in DeepIn and also in the tools, gaming layers, all in the wild. And the connections felt very strong. And also we also went to the GigDAO DG night party till 3 a.m. And I think that one can easily top 3 crypto parties ever. Everyone drive like 1 hour to the desert to enjoy the party. And it was great music, great people, and no pitch decks, just vibes, just everyone chilling out there. And we crept it off with the desert safari and the crypto bros down bashing and laughing under the sunset. And the type of nights where you realize, damn, we are living in the future. And I'm definitely gonna say the traffic during the event was next level. We spent most of time in my car every day. So next time if you go to TOKEN2049 Dubai, just accept that you will do your best networking in the backseat. I think that's all my takeaway. Thank you.
Yeah, so for me during Token Dubai, my sort of the Sui base camp, which I was lucky enough to attend the last 2 days, May 1st and 2nd. That was a really great event because of the vibe there. This feels like people were very energetic, and there were a lot of people from all across the world, because I believe the Sui Foundation, they sponsored a lot of young people to come attend the event. So I met a lot of Africans and so people from Middle East, people from Iran, Iraq. So it's definitely a very diverse group of people and founders and builders, and the energy was great. And comparing that to sort of the Hong Kong events, definitely the diversity was first and foremost something that was different.
I think Dubai is a place where you can meet, like Iran, like Dubai, you can meet everyone, like even sanctioned countries like Russia, China, Iran. You meet here and you can also talk with a lot of countries you will never meet them. And I met a few Iranian crypto people. I think they're quite smart, quite open-minded, and I'm very curious about how they do the crypto trading. And they told me they use some non-KYC exchange like MEXC. Besides, I always found there's many people who do the RWA this time. So I attended the Plums event on the Monday, I think. There's quite a few RWA-related projects. It's going to list the token. So I think Dubai is a quite good place to try because the government is very supportive for all kinds of the innovation things, like using the crypto Bitcoin to buy the real estate. Like you cannot think about this in Singapore, in Hong Kong, in US. It's quite strange. And third thing I remember quite well is in the main event, Justin Sun and Eric Trump, so Trump's son, they had a panel together with the World Liberty Finance, the team. So this will never happen in other countries, because if it had happened in Hong Kong, maybe Eric Trump cannot go. But if in US, like Justin Sun cannot go. So like Dubai is a place where all the people all over the world can meet and discuss business.
What we noticed is that people are actually craving more like curated high quality events, like especially for the builders. And that's actually the gap that we're trying to fill, because there are so many events happening. People are applying for, like 20 events per day. They're not really paying any attention, or they're not doing the research. So what we are trying to do in Daos is just to make sure that our audience is high quality, relevant people. They are definitely not scammers, because we are doing the vetting process, the send out moment. I would probably say that they're gonna be the fireside chat that we had with Yatsu and the Inal Kardan. So the whole fire chat was more about what Web3 means for people, the culture, the future that we are trying to build. And it was one of those conversations, that make you pause and kind of remember why you're in this space, in the first place.
Were there any common narratives or buzzwords that kept on popping up everywhere? For me, for example, the past 2 weeks or past 2 months, even AI agents have been popping up quite a lot. Was there any particular buzzwords or keywords in general that kept on popping up for you all at your several events, or just in general?
I think for me is RWA and AI integrated with crypto and the deepin. Everyone is trying to bridge the real and the virtual now. And what was missing through, I think, is the UX and the real adoption narrative. So everyone is building tech, but not everyone is building for people. So I think the user acquisition, RWA, and these are the buzzing word out there.
Definitely. And I think adoption in general has been a conversation that has been present for years now. And I wonder what the secret is to real customer adoption in this space. And we do need to think about actual adoption, actual use cases. And as an academic at Oxford University, I'm very used to hearing sentences that have 9 words and 8 of it's full of jargon. And I do know sort of the space is similar. You ask someone what they do or what the company is, and to anyone who doesn't have a clue about the space in general, if they're hearing a sentence and it's full of jargon, they're just gonna switch off. And so I think that narrative of customer adoption is so important. Who's actually using all this tech and how do they use it? How are we breaking down barriers?
The only thing I'd add, and this word's a little bit different, but is the word liquidity. So one of the reasons why alt struggles so much when the market's bad is because it doesn't take a lot of selling pressure in a token that has low liquidity for the price to be pushed down a lot. We do have a liquidity problem in crypto, 100%. And the main reason why is because there's so many tokens now, liquidity is completely spread thin. So rather than back in the day, we might have had like maybe 1,000 tokens and all liquidity is concentrated on these tokens and people are trading these tokens. Now there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of tokens that people can trade. And therefore there's liquidity that's dispersed across all of these different tokens. So the amount of liquidity in each token is smaller. And liquidity will get pulled from, say, Ethereum and put onto Solana, or from Solana onto Sui, or from Sui and put onto Abstract, or the other 50 blockchains that now exist. So the biggest problem that we have is like we need to reconcentrate on the assets that actually have real utility and are moving the space forward so that we can concentrate liquidity. We also need to concentrate liquidity by picking the chains that we're going to build the future of the internet on, rather than having 100 chains trying to pull liquidity from everywhere. So liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. And I have to say this because from a growth perspective, if a project that you work with has a token to create growth asset, it's got really thin liquidity, someone can dump $2,000 worth of it, and then all of a sudden the price drops 30%. And obviously having thin liquidity leads to a bad market, and a bad market leads to angry token holders, and angry token holders doesn't create a network effect, it does the opposite. So yeah, a little bit high level about liquidity.
Just to add to what you guys said about liquidity, it's not just money, right? It's also people. So we've all walked past the kind of restaurant where there's nobody inside. Are you more eager to walk into a restaurant that's like full to the brim with people lining up outside, or an empty one? And it's the same with crypto events, with projects and teams and meme coins and what have you. If you walked into an event and there's a lot of people there, there's a lot of energy, great conversation, you would have a more memorable experience of that brand, of that chain or project.
Before we wrap up soon, would love to ask, for someone thinking about going to TOKEN2049 next year, or maybe if they go to their first big blockchain conference, what would everyone's one piece of advice be for them?
I would say you have to prepare in advance, you have to study and anticipate and check the list of attendance, participants. You have to activate all your network. It's really good if you can drop a message or ask all of your network, will you be at TOKEN2049? Yeah, you have to make sure to take a good rest before joining, because it's only 2 days. Of course, there are side events spread across over 4 days, but still, join as many side events as you can. Try to visit the booth of the companies, the projects you're willing to work with, and those are my tips.
Yes, I think I will say yes to the random events. Invite to all side events. If there is any events, you can say yes, and you're never gonna know who gonna meet in the random event. And also make time for unplanned convos and practice your speech, like an intro about your products. And also, I think would be wear a light clothes and hydrate like it's a sport, and also count for the traffic, because if you have a panel at 5 p.m., you need to move earlier because of the crazy traffic. You better leave at 3, so no joke. Yeah, and I think you need to have a clear mindset, because there's a lot of booths there, so you need to know that what you want. So I think before you set out, manage your time properly, so you can as many things you can do during one day.
Yeah, probably would say just to come prepared, because events like Token, they're all very exciting, but it can be very overwhelming as well. So if you don't have a plan, I feel like it's just very easy to float from a party to a party and just miss the real opportunities. So I would say that set clear goals. Are you looking to raise or hire, find partners? Just set clear KPIs for your trip. I would say quality over quantity, but still have an open mind for the last minute like opportunities and chances. Definitely come to Daos Hub because we do have pretty cool events here.
Yeah, the traffic is very bad. I also felt that because one day we take a taxi, usually just 20 minutes. We take a taxi around 5:30 p.m. and we arrived at 7 p.m. It takes 1.5 hours. I feel like in Dubai you can try the metro because I tried metro a few times. If it's in the night, the weather is not very hot. Actually, metro is a very good way because most of the events, the location are just next to the metro station. And another thing is, usually we will attend 2 or 3 events per night. But when I attend some events, I'm late. There will be a long queue there, so you cannot get in. So we should make the plan in advance. Which one you want to go most? You should go to that one first, because usually if you go in the later, although you have ticket, they won't allow you to get in unless you know the host.
I just want to say thank you so much to everyone for attending this session today. Thank you to all the speakers, and thank you to everyone who attended the event last week. Really appreciate the engagement. If anyone has anything else to say, feel free to, but if not, just wanted to say a big thank you again, and we shall speak very soon.